Canada quietly executed one of its most consequential Arctic moves this year, and the numbers explain why it matters. In 2024 alone, Canada-Denmark trade reached approximately $2.7 billion, with a growing share tied to clean technology, energy infrastructure, and Arctic cooperation. At home, federal energy investments now exceed 3% of Canada's GDP, the highest level in more than 2 decades. Projects like the Darlington nuclear cluster are projected to generate more than $2 billion in tax revenue over the next 10 years, supporting tens of thousands of skilled jobs across energy, engineering, and advanced manufacturing. This is not background context. This is the economic foundation behind Canada's Arctic strategy. And this week, Ottawa placed that strategy directly inside Greenland, the very territory Donald Trump has repeatedly said the United States must control for national security. While Washington continues to talk about Greenland, Canada has moved quietly, deliberately, and with long-term intent. In the Arctic, scale combined with presence changes everything. Donald Trump has made Greenland a recurring symbol of American power. From public remarks to campaign-style rhetoric, he has insisted that the island is essential to U.S. security and influence, at times suggesting the United States would secure it one way or another. That fixation has never fully disappeared. But while the language continues, Canada's approach has been fundamentally different. Ottawa has not talked about ownership or dominance. Instead, it has focused on embedding itself into the region's future through institutions, relationships, and infrastructure. The opening of Canada's first-ever consulate in Nuuk is not about flags or optics. It is about positioning. In Arctic geopolitics, showing up matters more than posturing, and timing matters even more. At first glance, a consulate opening appears routine: paperwork, diplomats, a ceremony. But within Arctic policy circles, the reaction was immediate. This was not seen as procedural, it was seen as strategic. Canada placed itself inside Greenland's decision-making environment at the exact moment the island is reassessing its economic direction and political options. Greenland is no longer viewed simply as a frozen outpost. It is an actor weighing its future. And Canada has now secured a seat at that table, not through pressure, but through presence. That single move quietly altered the power map, not because it was loud, but because it was permanent. Before going further, this is Maple States, where we track the quiet geopolitical shifts reshaping North America and the Arctic. If you're new here, consider subscribing and helping us reach 6,000 subscribers, 500 likes, and 500 comments on this video. Your support keeps this channel alive and independent. Now back to the story, because the most important reaction didn't come from Washington or Ottawa. It came from Greenland itself. In an interview with CBC, Greenlandic MP Pelle Broberg reacted to Canada's consulate with a single word: finally. He explained that Inuit communities across Canada, Alaska, and Greenland have been culturally connected for generations, yet politically separated by distance and foreign governments. For decades, those connections existed informally, without institutional support. The consulate, he said, brings that relationship into the governmental sphere for the first time. This framing matters. Greenland did not describe Canada's move as strategic maneuvering. It described it as overdue recognition. In Arctic politics, legitimacy flows upward from local acceptance, and that acceptance is something Washington has struggled to secure in recent years. Canada reinforced that message by sending senior officials directly to Nuuk for the opening. Defense Minister Anita Anand's visit underscored that this was not symbolic diplomacy, it was execution. She spoke about expanding Canada's diplomatic footprint across Arctic regions and coordinating closely with other Arctic nations. The language was deliberate and restrained. There were no references to rivalry or confrontation, only responsibility, cooperation, and long-term presence.
That restraint signals confidence. It suggests Canada does not need to announce its influence. It intends to build it. The timing of this move is critical because the Arctic is no longer a quiet frontier. Melting ice has opened new shipping routes, resource access is expanding, strategic competition has intensified. The United States, China, Russia, Denmark, and now Canada all view the region as decisive, but influence here does not function the way it does elsewhere. It is not determined by declarations or short-term deployments. It is determined by continuity. Ports, logistics, research stations, supply chains, and diplomatic infrastructure matter more than rhetoric. Canada's move acknowledges that reality. It places Ottawa closer to emerging Arctic decisions at a moment when others are still debating strategy. For Greenland, the consulate offers immediate practical benefits. The island currently relies heavily on Denmark for imports, forcing goods through long European supply chains that increase costs and delays. Canada already supplies many products to Greenland, but without direct diplomatic infrastructure. The new consulate shortens that distance, politically and economically. It opens pathways for deeper trade coordination, investment planning, and logistical efficiency. Broberg openly stated that Greenland wants stronger integration with North America's economic system. For years, it watched NAFTA and later USMCA from the outside, hoping to connect to that orbit. Canada may now provide that bridge. This transforms the consulate from a symbolic gesture into tangible leverage. To understand why this opportunity exists, it is necessary to revisit Donald Trump's past approach to Greenland.
And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Greenland is today a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. It's a part of our territory, and it's not for sale.